anything to do with Western big game.
Welcome to the Epic Outdoors Podcast, powered by Under Armour.
Big bag, big bag. Hey, everybody. Jason Carter, Adam Bronson, John Peterson coming at you from southern Utah. It's snowing and sunny. Where does it do that? Huh?
It's blowing in from sideways. I don't know what it's doing. It's so crazy.
I haven't seen much sun, but I haven't looked out yet.
Bronson, it was sunny on our way walking over to this little room right here.
Was it?
Yeah.
No. What a difference 3 minutes makes. I beat you by 3 minutes. And it wasn't.
That's what we're dealing with. I don't know. Logan, kind of a nice office you got here. Hashtag spoiled.
I know. Probably the nicest
The Gen
office.
Z gets the freaking good office.
Right. Exactly. As it should be.
Dark and quiet where you get work done.
Except for we do get forgotten about when there's birthday parties going
Oh,
on.
you don't you?
Yeah.
Well, Pollock has a birthday. Everybody out there wish Pollock happy birthday. Josh at epicoutdoors.com. Wish him happy birthday. Load his inbox. But you know what? We didn't mean to forget you guys. Jana's like, oh, dang it.
You heard singing? And
We
then
heard singing, and I was like, well, I guess we weren't invited, Logan.
But
Wow.
Bronson, I contend. There's
when
times
we hang
when
up the phone, they probably say, Adam and Jason off the phone. Hurry, run in there and start singing right now.
there was
That's
people.
how it worked.
that-
It was
yeah,
funny. We
there
were
was people
laughing.
that were still on the phone over there. Like it's just so hard, and we don't just shut the phone lines
The ladies
off.
get impatient with us. We're like,
Yes.
quit sending me a call.
Yes.
Pretty
So,
easy.
but
You want me to be there?
I contend y'all have had meetings and things that you've done without Adam and I.
On this,
All the time.
That's fair.
Frolicking,
Last night, yeah.
pie, cake, and cookies. You
Hey,
guys haven't
We're
stuff?
planning all kinds of stuff.
the good thing is there's plenty of pie and ice cream over there left for today.
Yep.
If you missed it,
Yep.
well, part of it.
Oh, no. We
Maybe-
came over, and we
Okay.
partook
We
immediately upon
wanted
the
you
singing.
to sing happy birthday. So trust me, you were not left out on purpose. It was nothing private over there. Of course, you could hear it from 14 blocks away. But hey, anyway, Josh, happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah.
Glad you're with us.
Yep.
All right. Well, Bronson, as we get started here, I don't know. There's a
gonna
lot
talk
of
about
there's a lot of snow out there. We've
Yeah.
been talking about like there wasn't a lot of death. Now I can kind of smell
Northern
it
Utah.
almost.
Yeah.
It's getting dicey. I think in the northern Utah, southern Idaho, southern Wyoming, southwest Wyoming. It's going to be interesting. Utah, I think, this last storm crushed northern Utah dead center.
Yeah.
And they were already feeding deer. So anyway, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. You know, and that's
Can be a
kinda where we're
bad
at.
thing in 3 hours north of us. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
Down south, we just don't run into the same issues. We have a little bit more melting in between our storms,
Yeah.
so we don't pile up all winter long like they do up there. They get inversions, they get other stuff
Yeah.
that trap it, and just generally colder.
Yeah.
And so southern Nevada, southern Utah, northern Arizona, and Mexico, we keep talking about. We just keep getting it, and it's like keep sending
Well,
it. But please track
let's
south.
just say they have
Please
a-
track south from now on the rest of the year.
Yes,
Please track
please.
everything to the south.
I was watching Arizona. They're getting pounded some more. So, but Bronson, let's just say that they have a massive die-off and they need transplants
for
for deer, right? Let's just say I know, just for funsies, right?
Where
They
you
need
pull-
transplants. Where are you pulling from? You're pulling from Oregon and Montana, because I hear those in the top 5 states of trophy producing bucks. So I just wondering if you would pull bucks from Oregon and Montana, or where would you pull bucks from? Bucks and does and genetics, huh?
A lot of hybridization going on in Oregon. I don't think I want them.
Okay, so you don't want Oregon.
No.
Okay, how about Montana?
Well, never seen what their genetics can produce in most places because they're dead before they get 4 years old.
Okay, well,
I mean, so
you're not holding anything against them. You might
I think
take
they
a
are
bu-
hardy critters in Montana.
They're
I will
hardy.
say they're hardy.
They're hardy.
I think you put them in.
But if I'm
know?
pulling to northern Utah, I'm taking some of those eagle, but
Yeah.
some of those burly freaking 300-pounders.
Yeah.
I don't know how heavy they are, but they're a block of meat.
They are.
They can handle some weather, huh?
You know,
You had an Eagle, Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
something
Big,
like
big.
that. But I don't know.
I've got you in a stupor here.
Yeah.
I threw that out there. I'm sorry. Just wondering. By the way, that was out there on social media. It's not that we're saying Montana and Oregon's great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. That was a dead subject. Okay, we'll keep going. What else we got, Bronson?
Well, I guess before we get into the rest of the why don't we talk about, since this might be the last podcast we do before our next epic hunt giveaway that we're doing. Let's talk about those real quick.
Okay.
Maybe we'll call a winner here or something
All right.
later on. But let's talk
do
about that. The deadline to enter, we do 2 of these a year. This is the first one. It's coming to an end within the next week. It's coming to an end on February 28th. That's a Tuesday. At what, 11:59, John? Technically,
Yep,
we're not here to
11:59.
answer the phone at 11:59.
No, but John comes here,
I do,
manually
yeah.
shuts it off.
Shut off the.
Yeah, you have to do that. But
The
like,
sales.
if it's after say 5 or 6 that night, it's going to be online only. Which, frankly, we encourage a lot of online. You can call us during the day. You probably received a ticket mailer in the mail. You can mail back. You better get it quick. But if you're in jeopardy of that, the easiest way is jump online or give us a call during business hours, 435-263-0777. But let's go through the lineup. Let's do that.
It is
It's
an
pretty-
incredible lineup. And not only that, Bronson, and Peterson. I guess, John, what are we going to call you? I need something quick to roll off my tongue.
John, that's one syllable.
I'm Carter. Bronson, what do you got?
You know what's funny?
John.
I go around in town or whatever, and people are saying, "Hey, how's Bronson?" or whatever, and I'm like, Bronson. And the only time that I call you that or anybody
It's in
calls
the
you that is on the
podcast room.
podcast.
Well,
And so
it's
funny
we
because
do
I call
over
him
at the
Adam,
office side a little bit here and there.
but kind of funny.
John is a one-syllable name, Jason.
Yeah.
I know, but I always want to add Jean
JP?
from
JP.
from Jen's
You could do JP
Jen's
if you want.
accent.
Yeah.
Jean. Whatever you want to be called, John, we'll call you. What do you
JP.
want? What do you want?
How about-
JP?
If you say it's like Devin, we know a few names
Yeah,
for Devin.
I don't care. You could say
tells
JP,
us
you could say
to stop.
John, whatever.
There's
Devin
some
just told
things
us to
Devin
stop.
won't allow.
He won't allow.
And then
So
there's-
we
yeah.
honor those.
We
And
honor
will
those,
honor them
yeah.
for
And
anybody.
Wyatt too. We've
Yeah,
tried to give him
yeah.
nicknames, and he's shut us down.
That's right. So we
I
want
mean, you could call me Star or
What?
Whoa.
You want to be called
or
Sprinkles?
or whatever.
Ringo.
John,
Ringo.
The ones that didn't
I
stick
worry,
with Wyatt.
I worry
No,
about anybody
Just kidding.
that asks for the name Star.
It's a joke.
Sprinkles.
It's a joke.
Everybody hit John at epicoutdoors.com. Give him your favorite name.
Should we put it in Spanish? Estrella. Estrella.
I don't know. I mean, it was funny at the expo. I heard from a ton of people that brought up old stuff from
What?
the podcast, like, weren't you the one that crashed in Mexico on your four-wheeler?
dude.
Get
Yes,
your
I
wife
was.
back.
Yeah.
And, you're the one that got the black water all over
Oh.
you. And I'm like, holy cow, you guys are going back, way back.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Thankfully,
So
you've
that's
had
JP.
many showers
Yeah,
since then,
yeah.
John. Since
So-
having the old black water splash.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about these a little bit. JP,
move on.
Jace, Carter, whatever.
All right, Bronson.
Let's start with the stone sheep. There's nothing that has been accelerated faster in the world of hunting prices than doll and stone sheep pricing in the last 2-3 years. It's
Nothing.
unbelievable.
Nothing.
Here's a hunt that we
Kind of
actually
like buying a diesel truck. It's like they're worth way more, or even a Toyota. They're worth way more after you abuse it. Huh?
to some
They
extent.
grow.
yes.
It's gaining value over the course of inflation,
Yeah,
COVID times,
I
whatever.
guess. Well, and it's slightly unfortunate. You know, the sheep world, to kill all 4 North American rams, it was a stretch for a blue-collar working guy before. Now it's becoming it's
Let's
becoming
say
maybe out of
possible,
reach.
maybe.
Yeah,
possibly.
yeah. Doll sheep hunts are
Without
30 to 40,000,
I know.
and stones are double that
Yeah,
or 2.5
More.
times.
more.
And it's unfortunate for the dream, but hey, I guess
That's
what
why
I'm trying
we're
to say.
giving
We've
it
got
away.
one to give away.
Yeah.
We bought this hunt 2 years ago. We paid $60,000 for it. The same exact time. This is through
And
Jared
now
Tindall.
some giveaways may not pay full price.
Oh, yeah.
We paid
what
full
you
price.
would pay, or what anybody
right.
would pay. We just always want to treat our outfitters like hey, we want to buy your hunt. We don't want a discount. We want the dates we want. We want to book it just as if a stranger called you and booked a hunt. So we booked this 2 years ago at $60,000 with Jared Dueling Stone Outfitters in the Yukon. It's August 12th to 24th next year, 2024. So you
Gives you
have
time.
another year to still prepare
Yep.
for it. Get your butt in shape or whatever. But this same hunt now is $80,000. The exact hunt
With that outfitter.
with this outfitter.
Same thing.
And there's others
That's
that
right.
are 90
That's right.
or to 100, 105. We've
120.
heard. It's unbelievable. So anyway, it's a chance to hunt stone sheep with a reputable outfitter. Jason and I have been with Jarrett. He's a great friend of ours. He's lives down in the States. He Came and played hockey professionally.
He's
met,
awesome.
Met his wife in the States and said,
Yep.
"Hey, I'll spend the winters here versus Whitehorse."
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Oh yeah, it's a good plan. What happens in Whitehorse? It's kind of like what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico or Vegas or whatever. What happens in Whitehorse stays in Whitehorse.
Well, in the winter, man,
It's
like
a long winter.
2 or 3 hours a day of sun. And
I felt like Whitehorse here.
negatives.
And
Yeah.
you get up, you
They're
go to
laughing
bed.
at us. This is spring.
This is child's
for,
play.
This is spring for Whitehorse. That's right. So anyway, an awesome opportunity there. Just goes to show it's. I mean, and we didn't buy this speculatively, thinking, hey, this. But we give a stone sheep hunt away every other year, and man, it's just crazy what's happened. So great outfitter, great opportunity. August of 2024. That's the first hunt. So.
Yeah, we both killed sheep with him. He's awesome, and we've killed moose, both of us. So anyway, good outfitter. Somebody. I mean, we're actually good friends with Jared. So anyway, great guy. Here's your chance to get a thin horn ram, sheep, stone sheep. So pretty awesome. Like Adam's talking about, you just can't get them anymore. And they've had some tough winters up there in Alaska for Dall, and we're not necessarily talking about Dall, but thin horns in general. And it's just the resource. The more finite a resource becomes, it's like everybody's jumping on board to kill the last one.
Well, and you had a 2-year shutdown essentially in Canada for Dall and Stone because you couldn't get in because of COVID travel restrictions. So then when that opened up, the floodgates of bookings just hit just because people were cooped up. And so outfitters, when they're booked out 2 or 3 years, all right, I'm going to raise my price. I mean, that's
supply
what
and
they
demand.
do. And costs go up, but it is supply and demand. And in the stone sheep world, and especially when you factor BC hunts in, they're on an actual quota from the government, on an annual and a 5-year basis. So they can only kill so many. It's not like that they can kill all they want, and you have 8-year-old and full curl restrictions as well. So, anything 8+ is also a ticking, got a ticking clock for a ram to survive a winter when they get that old anyway. So you're already dealing with the ram's got to be 8 years old or full curl to be legal, and then you got winter superimposed.
You want to utilize the resources. You want to utilize your tags, and so it's a finite resource, and they get to charge what the market will bear, and people are paying it. So, all right, next up, so we've got this 2023 Alaska Mountain Goat Hunt. That's with Dillinger River Outfitters. Super good dude. Aaron DeRose runs that and owns that place, and just a good friend of ours. This is kind of a very unique opportunity, just an awesome opportunity for a guy to go up there and potentially kill just an incredible mountain goat. Generally going to be 100% opportunity. It's just one of those rare hunts that a guy's going to be able to kill one and have 100% opportunity. Guys of pretty much any physical abilities are able to do this one.
This is an October hunt, a later season hunt.
Yep.
Aaron and his crew, they work the Alaska Range heavy for their Dall sheep and their moose. When that's over with, they shift down to, I guess we'll call it southeast Alaska generally.
For the most.
It's a different area. You can use some UTVs and things like that, lower, glass the goats, generally shorter hikes. This isn't a multi-day backpack goat hunt, is what Jason was trying to say. You can come back to a base camp every night, have usually a fire, tent camp, something like that, things like that if you have to. But it's not a bivouac out, in October in Alaska. So a broad appeal from people of all, limitations, if you want to call age, whether it be your physical. But it's also the time when you want to kill a goat. You want to kill a mountain goat. You want to kill a good billy and hair them up. October is the time.
So, what I like about the hunts we choose, Adam and I and John, and the guys in the office, we're always constantly contemplating what hunts to acquire for our giveaways. We want to be proud of these hunts that we're giving away, and hunts that we would go on ourselves, and that's exactly what we got going on here. So, next up we got Nevada elk hunt.
Nevada elk hunt. This is 6-day Nevada elk hunt with Deadline Outfitters, and this outfitter, I think when I get stories or talk to clients that have been with him, the one thing in common is it's like they love the guy. Yeah. And they build relationships and friendships that go on forever. We had, the super tag hunter from last year that said, I spent most of the season with Hobie. So,
Well, he did.
Anyway.
That was in Idaho, and he guides on both sides. He guides in Idaho and Nevada. And
but
he does. He has
seems like it's
a
just
lot
a
of
great guy.
repeat clients.
Yeah.
I actually had another guy call in and he's at times this time of year he's hard to get a hold of. They don't have great cell reception up there, and he's hunting lions a bit, and he's out in the field. And this winter's drug on for everybody. It's been great for in some areas for lion hunters. In some areas it seems like too much snow, but anyway, he's been out and about, and so there's guys wanting to book with the landowner tag. This includes a landowner tag, so it's a guaranteed tag with the landowner tag in Nevada. On elk, you get to choose your season. So you can choose your season. It's a 6-day hunt. You can choose archery, muzzle, or rifle for this year, and then it includes your guide fee as well. So awesome bulls up there in the 076-081. It's long. It's got a great reputation, good quantities.
Produced great last year too. We know archers that chased giant bulls. Then we had guys that killed big bulls later on the rifle. So it doesn't matter what weapon you hunt with. That's a hunt that you can pick something to have a stellar hunt, and that is for this fall.
And it seems, Bronson, feels as though 076-081's been doing better and better. Yeah. Like we know of a 400-incher. We got the photos for it in the story. We got multiple other 380s that were hunted and live videos being sent. Like it's
doing
been
good right
been
now.
Awesome.
Yeah. And if you go online and you look at the pictures, the picture for that hunt is a hunt winner from us.
Right there.
Yeah. And you might even say it's undervalued compared to the
100%
Ely hunts that are double that in cost of landowner tag. So
tag alone and Ely is half again that. So anyway, let alone guide fee. Pretty awesome. Great opportunity up there with Deadline Outfitters. We're proud to be giving that one away as well. So, all right, we're up here with 2023 Nevada Hunt 231. That is with Muggy on Rim Outfitters. Greg Krogh, he's got a super reputation for being one of the best in the industry. 7 days guided with a 231 landowner deer tag. We're touting this as a $21,000 hunt, Bronson. I think it's quite undervalued, similar to what we're talking about with thin horns.
Well, we saw one of those. I think it was the sheep show. A landowner tag only sold for like $28,000.
Yeah,
tag only,
not
guide fee.
Can't even find one.
They're just very scarce this year. Landowner tags in general is overall deer numbers are slightly down, and these counts are based off of deer numbers in agricultural type situations.
Yep.
And not talking about mature bucks. It has nothing to do with that on tag allocation. So. You have poor fawn crops for 2-3 years. Your overall base is a little bit lower, and they get fewer counts and there's fewer tags.
And then sometimes it's just weather conditions, and the deer aren't frequenting the fields late season in November when they have their counts. So you just never know. This year, in general, besides talking about our giveaway, in general, landowner tags were cut by roughly a third across the board. So there's a lot fewer of them. And again, when there's so few of them,
and you get the moisture building in Nevada like we've had all winter, and everybody now wants to be there, knowing what's probably about to happen. You can't. Nobody's giving up a landowner tag.
We're hearing from guys that are wanting landowner tags for guys we haven't heard from.
The list is
as far as the Nevada side of things for multiple years because of the drought.
That's right.
And now they're calling, and there's just nothing out there to buy.
They're already sold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, anyway,
great
awesome opportunity. Landowner tag, choose your season again. You can hunt legally. You can hunt all the seasons in Nevada with deer tags, landowner deer tags. But obviously, with an outfitter, you're gonna have to choose one. Just part of the game. He's got a schedule to keep. If you wanted to keep hunting, you can stay and keep hunting. You can choose archery or muzzle, stay through the rifle hunts, do whatever you want that way. Yep. The tag is yours. So we bought the tag and coupled it with Greg, and so we've actually got the tag in-house. Pretty awesome.
All right, the next hunt is another September elk hunt for this fall. How do these dates sound? September 25th to 29th. Wow.
I think it could be a little more prime if it was the 24th to the 29th.
Okay. But, I mean, that's as good as you can get. And the unique thing about this hunt on the Acme Reservation, it's within Unit 13 of New Mexico. Of course, the reservation, you have to hunt on the reservation, but it's giant. But Unit 13 is very well known for producing great bulls, as is the Acme. The unique thing about this, September 25th to 29, if you hunt in New Mexico, there's no dates that allow you to hunt those dates. You're being able to do this because it's on a reservation, and you get to choose any weapon you want. If you want to take a bow and a rifle and go with a bow for a couple days and pick up a gun, doesn't matter. It's any legal weapon. You choose your hunt.
That's right.
Choose your hunt. You get all the accommodations and a guide and all that. This is also a year we feel New Mexico is just priming for one of the years that we all really think about New Mexico as being one of the top 3 or 4 elk states. We're feeling that.
It's going to showcase itself this year. There's no question about it. And the nice thing, when we talk about the Yakima, you know, similar to everything else, there's only so much. There's a finite amount of hunts and tags that they issue, and so they've got a waiting list of 180 people right now, and they're contemplating changing up the way they divvy those tags out at some point. Yeah, they're looking at all kinds of options. They want to. You just don't want to have this list that is a useless list because you have repeat customers. You know, and so anyway, they're dealing with that, and this year, I mean, it's just going to solidify that because they're going to kill some incredible bulls. I actually had a guy call in wanting to book a hunt with them, and said his buddies killed 4 incredible bulls with him last year. So there you have it. I know there's a lot of demand there. Just getting one of these tags like Bronson's talking about, you know, September rifle hunt. If you want, you could do muzzle archery.
It's like Utah is one of the late September draw hunt in Arizona, but you can't buy your way into Arizona. Utah, CWMU, Colorado Ranching for Wildlife. It's such a unique opportunity to hunt with a rifle those dates anywhere in the West.
There's just a very few, limited draw tags in Nevada that aren't, not even realistic opportunities. We don't even talk about it as far as rifle rut hunting. So you're right. That's the way it goes. So anyway, pretty awesome opportunity. We're proud to be giving that away again. You know, Epic's got a spot reserved with the Yakima. We've got a great working relationship with them. We got a reserve spot for life, hopefully. But anyway, giving it away to our membership. Okay.
All right. Next up, we got the 2023 Utah Mule Deer Hunt. This is a 5-day mule deer hunt with Bucks and Bulls Outfitters, September 1st through the 5th, and that is 2023, like I said. And we had one of the pictures on there is from a member that won this hunt. So they've been killing great bucks.
Yeah.
Well, and it's unique, you know. We just mentioned Utah CWMU program for elk that you can hunt them in the middle of the rut, late September. Same program allows you to start as early as September 1st with any weapon on these private ranch hunts that are contiguous, units basically. CWMUs or contiguous acreage of 5, 10, 50, 100,000 acres.
Kind of an island of property that's its own set-aside unit.
And you get a 60-day window to work your clientele in there, and they, in turn, have to have some public draw hunters available. Those are only available to residents of Utah. This is opening day, is what we're trying to say. You can archery hunt a little bit for, 10, 12 days before that. But this is opening day with a rifle. All the pre-scouted bucks that September 1.
I love that word, pre-scouted.
I do too. Jana hates it.
But anyway, keep going.
She wins. She wins some. She won some this last night. But
I
caved.
You caved and didn't put pre-scout in there, and I like it. I know exactly what it means.
We've
and so
used
does the whole,
it, and a lot of people might say scouting and pre-scouting is the same thing. It just feels different.
Pre-scouting is like... What does pre-scouting mean to you? Like, scouting could mean anything.
The word scouting means to go before it.
Maybe I scouted last night. Maybe I did some scouting.
Pre-scout means to scout
before you scout.
Before you actually hunt. Now, just scouting could be a 3-year, 14-year process, But pre-scouting's like, I've got a tag, and I hit it right before the hunt.
Hey, can we go to the printer and change those back to pre-scouting now, John?
Only
for the March magazine.
It's too late. It's too late.
Only if you want to put your foot down and not be run over.
Well,
I think it's
you
important.
have to live with her. I don't.
I choose to. I think she's amazing.
No, I'm just saying. If I ruffle feathers, no big deal. I go home to a wife that doesn't know that I've, changed.
Does your wife ever say, "Hey, what goes on down there? What do you guys?"
Well, what do you mean? Yeah. Of course.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you tell her?
Luckily, she's busy and worn out when I get home at night, and so we don't talk about work a lot.
What do you tell her? We went and spent time in the Gen Z's office?
No. She does ask about podcasts now and then, what we talk about, which most of the time it's nothing truly like your wives. Not as interesting to them unless we start talking about them.
Yeah.
And
then they're hyper-focused.
We have had people say, we want your wives back on.
Yeah.
Jason and I have been reluctant.
I've got one. Let's add Jen to the mix.
You have to be on the edit button like crazy.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
She could swear in French. Nobody would even know.
Yes,
it wouldn't even be the 18-plus-year-olds that could have to listen or whatever.
No censored.
Jen would be like, edit.
Well, so
let's
anyway,
do that. Let's plan for that. All right.
All that topic got talking about pre-scouting.
Yes, pre-scouting.
It's awesome. You're going to smash a great buck.
Back to the Utah deer hunting. They will pre-scout. your buck. And they will find you one before September 1st. This is literally a 190 to 200-inch type deer hunt. It is. A lot of people can say
That's
that.
what it is designed for.
But
the
it's
property's
that style of
capable,
hunt. Yep.
and the dates are right.
That's right.
Pretty
Well,
awesome opportunity there.
The
Again,
last one?
one of those
Rare.
Nope.
It is rare. It is.
It's just, I guess, mule
Where do you
deer.
hunt
I mean, I
rifle?
want to sit here and talk about mule deer for
Yeah.
another 30 minutes. Are we good
Well,
to do that?
I want to hunt them September 1 to 5 in places just like that. Then I want to hunt them in November in other places, and I want to hunt them. You know what I mean? This is one of those that it's a rare opportunity.
What other places are you talking about? Should we dive into that? What's your schedule look like?
Well, maybe we'll get to that after.
All right, keep
after
going.
this.
Okay.
Let's
All right.
I'll gladly talk about some things.
No kidding.
Not all.
Before you move on, I think just to round out what makes us different and this giveaway different is every hunt is.
I want it.
Yeah, Adam, Jason, any of the guys here want this
I
hunt.
remember Bronson. It's
This
been
is hard to
several years ago. They hit us up and they had this unique hunt, and we were like, we want to give that away.
And
That's
we want to buy a hunt a year for sure, at least one a
Yeah.
year. First year, I think we bought a couple because they had them, and we booked one with a client and gave one away. But we've kept that spot just like the Actima because we know these are rare and they're top end, and these are
just to tease it up.
20
Maybe should we tease up the next drive? We got that Utah / yada yada elk hunt with the rifle yada yada yada.
we're gonna have
There you
one.
teased it.
It's
We're gonna have a rifle
I'm
rut
just
hunt in
saying.
Utah in the rut.
these are hunts we want. I
yeah.
personally tried to get that tag for.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it yet because at some point you
I'm
were
just
talking about
excited.
using it.
Well, we're giving
It
away.
may or may not end up.
Okay, he's
as a
away.
member.
with a hot mic. He says that,
We're
so
giving it
Jana
away.
knows definitively he's not contemplating spending that
She
kind of
knows.
money.
She
But it's
knows what kind of money we're talking about. She knows everything. I keep nothing from her. How about you guys? How about you guys? Have we talked about recent purchases of guns or fierce rifles that have come and left?
Does she know you're going to Canada in November?
She does.
Oh, good.
I don't know that she knows all the details, but she will before I'm just waiting till I do good husband things, and then we'll talk about.
And then
some
you'll
of
talk
those
about
things.
it.
All right.
The one other thing I wanted to bring up is it's a big deal, and we mentioned it, but we pay full price for these hunts
Oh,
because we don't want you to have a discounted experience.
yeah, it's not the last.
And that
hard
is
to find.
common. We'll trade this hunt, and then it's like, well,
Or
let's
here's
put him
a-
with my cousin.
You'll still be
You know.
responsible for the tip, but
Yeah.
Bronson, some people don't pay tips.
That's a sore subject. At times. Yeah. Hey. It's only happened once in my life. Once.
Really?
Once. Yeah, we're still talking about it, apparently.
Maybe. Well, we don't have to.
Yeah.
It has left an impression.
Over, I don't know, 150, 200 clients. So it's doesn't happen often. So.
And it was well deserved actually. The tip, I mean, being tipped would have been well
It's
deserved.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, keep going. you
last
are
time.
responsible for that.
The last hunt, their hunt or giveaway is a package. We just thought we've given a lot of optics away before as maybe a bonus item or things like that. We thought let's just do a package this time that's just awesome gear, and this one is
Awesome gear.
awesome. That's right. We're giving away a bunch of stuff: gun, bow, and optics. The optics include a Swarovski 95 spotting scope. You can pick angled or straight on the ATX or STX eyepiece. Vortex Fury 5000 range-finding bino, Leica 3500.com rangefinder, a Zeiss Conquest V4 6 to 24 by 50 rifle scope, a Hoyt RX7 bow, and a Fierce Twisted Rival in your choice of caliber. So that's a $13,000 package. Gun, bow, binos, rangefinder.
I just
spotting
don't
scope.
think this package is getting the love I just don't feel like it's getting the
It's
love
not.
that it deserves or that we thought it would get. We're talking a rifle, like basically a
rifle
custom
and a
rifle.
scope.
Yeah,
And
and a
hey,
scope to go with
hey,
it,
we
and
don't-
a bow.
And
You know what bows cost nowadays?
We'd throw the rings in.
Gen Z,
Scope.
what do bows cost nowadays?
Like what, $1,800?
Yeah, there you go.
For a good one. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
and you picked up a good bow the other day.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
I got so lucky.
Okay, to compare, when you started bow hunting, Jason,
Oh.
how much did you pay for your first bow?
Oh, mine was a recurve. I strung it by putting it between my legs and flexing some weird stuff.
Mine did
and
not. Mine
remember
was
that?
not. Mine was the Carol bow.
I
Carol
had
out of
one-
Moab.
I had one of those. That was my first compound, was the Carol from Moab.
Yep.
That was,
And
it was
retail price
painted.
on
You
that.
know what the paint job? Picture this.
Yeah.
You know the aspen leaf, and not the dark one, the light,
The light
right?
one.
Aspen leaves.
Yeah.
Mine was aspen leaves in bright green. Like I'm like,
it glows in the dark.
hey,
Green and
Hey.
gold. Or
I remember I shot. I shouldn't even talk about this stuff, but yeah, I had a big old corkscrew drop. So I remember I was at the human trail camera.
We're going to
Yes,
come back
yes,
to that.
the
After,
human trail
this
camera.
is a good story.
This is a good
let's
story.
keep going. So anyway, this optics and weapons package, come on. I mean, a bows, legitimately, I mean, and guys upgrade like yearly. I've never seen anything like it. But anyway, bow, rifle, and a stack of optics. Like, Bronson, you read them off. But anyway.
It's awesome.
I don't know what to say.
And it's real. It's here. It's in-house.
It's not getting the love it deserves. I know
That's
that.
right.
But
It isn't.
anyway.
And we usually do one hunt every time. That's a little bit of a different rotating. This is a package that we've not done before like this. So anyway.
All right.
And then we're doing one bonus. The bonus this time is if you buy the $500 package. The only way to get a ticket in for the bonus entry is to buy the $500 package. We've given away a bunch of optics. We've given away a 231 tag in the past under that. We decided to do it different. Let's just give away a credit for $10K to any hunt that you want through one of the outfitters that we help you find your hunt for. If you have a dream hunt, whether if it's $30,000 moose hunt or something like that,
We'll
and
write
you wanna
10K to the outfitter.
We'll pay your deposit. If it's a $10,000 mule deer elk hunt, we'll write the check to the outfitter and you go do the hunt. Whatever that is, that's what it is for the bonus hunt. If you spend $500. And you get your 30 entries to splatter over the other stuff we've already talked about, and one into the bonus
Even if you
choice.
book a big ticket item, through Epic Outdoors here, and the hunt's to occur 2 or 3 or 4 years down the road, we'll write the check and get your initial deposit on file. So anyway, awesome.
Well, and we haven't talked about how to get tickets. So this is a membership drive. So if you can purchase tickets, but also if you join our service, then you get a free entry. And if you refer somebody that joins our service, you get a free entry. So there's a way to kind of work it. If you have a buddy, you both join and you both refer each other, you could both get
John.
tickets.
Or if you've got your buddy that borrows your magazine every freaking month, and you're like, don't want him to come to your house anymore every month at the deadline night, and he needs to borrow your mag.
That probably happens a lot in Utah.
Yeah. So, get him to join, get a name in the hat for it, and maybe get a chance to
Maybe
win.
just buy him a membership.
Yeah. Buy him a membership and stay home. We're joking.
Leave me alone.
But,
Quit stealing my magazine.
Yeah.
Anyway, or you can purchase tickets. One ticket's $25, 5 for $100, 10 for $200, or 30 for $500. And with the $200 package, you can get either a knife or a lighter, personalized Epic Outdoors on it, and then at $500, you obviously get the bonus ticket for the hunt credit. All right, Bronson, where does that bring us?
I don't know. Do you think we've done this before? Let's call somebody that's won one of these hunts. I think last year before.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Let's call this Michael Melling. He won the Colorado Mule Deer hunt with Garvey Brothers, and just see what he has to say. I don't know
about his experience.
I think he had a great experience. I mean, he mentioned he did, super appreciative and whatnot. Those are the kind of reports we like to get back. I don't know anybody that's gone that's had a bad experience. That's for dang sure.
Well, part of it is because of the type of quality hunts we buy and the outfitters we buy from, too.
Right.
Not you're setting your – we want it to be set up for success.
Right. 100%. Here we go. Is it windy out there? Jeez, you can hear that. Oh.
Hey, good morning.
Mike, how are you? Jason Carter, Adam Bronson, John Peterson, how are you?
Hey, guys. How
We're
you
great.
doing?
We're just got done talking a little bit about membership drive, a deadline being next week on the 28th of February, and thought it'd be a good idea to give you a call. You were a past winner, and tell us, I guess, about your experience. You won a Colorado Mule Deer hunt. I think it was just last year when you actually went on the hunt with Garvey Brothers in Unit 61. And take us through from, I guess, the time you got the call and how the hunt went and all that.
Well, it's pretty exciting getting that call saying that you're a winner. I never expected that. In fact, I almost didn't apply in that drawing. It wasn't until the night before that I applied,
Wow.
I think. So just made the deadline there.
Wyatt
Wyatt
likes to be on top of the pile.
Wyatt thinks you're on top of the pile if you applied last. He thinks that. So Don't you just
I
you,
heard
you
about
just
that
reinforced his strategy.
But what is Wyatt really drawn?
That's right. Good point. He thinks it, and he always does it. but he
Bronson,
hasn't-
whatever you do, I'm following you. You've drawn some stuff.
Well, we both have, but I don't tell you about everything I don't draw. You just find out
Right.
when I do draw something.
Right.
So. But anyway, last night you got him in, and then, of course, it probably then was only a matter of 3 or 4 days by the time we did the draw and called you, right?
Right. So got the call, and then I had already drawn a Colorado Mule Deer tag that year, so I had to figure out how to turn that back in and restore my points and everything like that. You guys helped me through that process. And, I was touched base with Dustin a couple times up until the hunt in November. Really, really good guy, and wasn't really sure what to expect, though, not ever being on a guided hunt. So that was kind of the cool part. First time guided hunt, so that was a really cool experience. But we get to town there and meet up with all the guys at his house, and it's kind of almost intimidating a little bit. I was the youngest guy in camp. I think there's a lot of guys in their late 50s, 60s, even 70s there.
That hunt takes 15 plus years to draw if you drive the tag. So you don't.
Those guys were applying in their 20s.
Right.
You bypass the system with the landowner tag. So
yeah, so that was kind of a cool experience. I wasn't sure how they'd take the young kid in camp, but kind of made friends with them and told great stories in camp and that sort of thing. So we all got along just fine. And but Dustin, from Dustin's house, we head up to the mountain. He's got another deer camp up there. I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes from his house there, and that's where all the guys stay and hunt out of. But really nice place to stay. They had food, really great food there. Fed you 3 meals a day, snacks, whatever you wanted. So that was a cool experience. All the guides were really cool. So they had a bunch of guides, and every day you would switch off a different guide. So you might go somewhere one day and with one guide, and the next day get teamed up with another guy and go a different place. So that was kind of a cool deal as well.
Huh.
Yeah. But just a number of bucks and bigger bucks than I'm used to seeing in Washington. Just blows your mind. You see bucks all over the place. So it's a really cool place to hunt.
You're not known as a top 5 mule deer state up there in Washington. Okay, well, I didn't know. There's been a few big ones in a couple areas, but anyway, I'm with you. We're following.
Exactly. So, so a couple guys shot a deer the first day, and I think I was the third guy to tag out on the second day, and probably my biggest buck, not a super record buck or anything like that, but I was super happy with them. And
awesome.
Come up hiking around the corner with one of the guides and kind of see this buck, and all you see is antlers past the ears, and I'm happy. So
the deer's dying right now. Oh, that's awesome.
But it was kind of one of those quick decisions you had to make because he was about to get out of the country.
Yeah.
And so had him at 150 yards or so and made the shot there.
Awesome. Yeah, you've got to make a split second decision on those. Once you, if you were to pass a deer, you may not see him again. And that's kind of that late season Colorado. They're moving around,
pre-rut or rut, and it's like they're not just living and eating in the same spot every day. Yeah.
Part of me wishes I would have waited, but I can't second guess myself, and I'm super happy with the buck.
Well, Adam and his brother in that same area or unit. Adam. Remember years ago, you guys were hunting and you guys were on to like a 210 buck, and you saw him.
Yeah, my brother had a tag that year, third season. This is 10 plus years ago. And of course, when you're there, it'd be like one of your guides still going to look for deer, and he sees it. But in this case, I found the deer. I was 5-8 miles away from my brother, whatever I was, and it was in the evening. Last 30 minutes. I had he couldn't get there in time. And we hunted there for like 3 straight days.
Gone.
Never could found the deer again. We had me, my dad, brother, just tearing that place apart for 3 days after and never saw it. He was alone, raking brush, acting kind of pre-ruddy, probably just roaming
had
through
walked
there.
on.
So if you had
Yeah.
to kill him that night, or you maybe didn't kill him, obviously.
So
And
you
he was
got
a
to be
big deer.
Johnny on it, a lot of times. Sometimes you can go back and find them again, but yeah. Totally understand what you're going through when you're, you see an antler through the trees and trying to make it, 5-second call.
And like you said, you said,
Exactly.
Michael, it was your best mule deer to date?
Yes,
Awesome.
it is. Yep.
Awesome.
Well, that's hard to pass a deer that's your best mule deer. It just is. I mean, if it's your best deer, it's hard to do that.
Well,
so.
Mike, I just want to let you know of a couple other mule deer hunting opportunities in our membership drive. We've got a Nevada 231, includes the landowner tag, in Utah. 2 different states right there. Incredible opportunities.
Well,
We could even best that one if you want.
I love that, but I put all my eggs in one basket
Oh.
this year, and I'm putting for your
Oh,
elk
did
hunt.
you?
Oh, which one?
The Nevada
The
one?
Nevada or the Acoma?
Yeah, the
Well,
Nevada
that's
one.
a great one too. It is, and maybe I don't know what you've killed for elk, but maybe that'll be if you won that one a personal.
Nothing.
Oh, well, okay, it would be your personal,
Personal
best.
best.
Elk.
Yeah.
No matter what you kill, a cow would be your first.
So, yeah, hopefully lightning strikes
Yeah.
twice
Oh,
this year,
people
and I
will be
can
mad.
pull
And I've
another
got
tag.
you loaded. I dialed your number, and it's still loaded from when we called you when you were, when you drew this particular hunt that we're talking about in Colorado. So
Very cool.
maybe I won't even have to load a new number. Maybe we'll just call you again.
That's right.
Never know.
Think it's more
Crazier
better.
things have happened. Anyway. All right. Well, we just wanted to say thanks, kind of reach out to you. Know you had a great experience from what you mentioned and sent in a photo and a little write-up on it. We just appreciate that. So anyway, glad you had a hunt of a lifetime.
You guys do.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
good luck
thank
in
you.
all the draws and everything this year, and never know, might get lucky twice.
Might be calling you toward the end of next week.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. All right.
Thanks a lot. Have a good
All
day.
right.
Talk
Take
to you
care.
later. All right.
You
bye.
too. Bye-bye.
Good times.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome guy.
Yeah.
Let's
You
talk
love that.
Let's talk about the human trail cam era. And
Oh,
this corkscrew-
it's the best.
corkscrew dropper. What? I remember the story.
I'm
but I
sure
need to hear
it came
again.
out on a
We have
podcast,
talked
probably
about
number
it.
1, and we're at
But you-
podcast 280.
this-
What are we at?
This glowing.
We are dang near 270 right
This
now.
glowing
Yeah.
green bow that you had in your hands. It glowed green.
Glowing green bow.
Okay.
So the trail camera,
And you were in
the
an
human
Aspen?
trail cam, which we need to go back to that, especially the guys in Arizona. They have to go back to being the human trail cam.
Yeah.
So
They need to have more kids.
You know what cells should be going through the roof? Tree stands. Put all your kids and lash them to trees with a video camera. Hey,
There's
There you go.
Hey,
Tree stands?
there's a positive to living in Utah and having a ton of kids.
That's
The human trail camera.
yeah. So tree
You gotta
stands
explain
with
it for people who
with
haven't
kids
heard it
sitting
before.
in trees now, and they just go pick your kids up at night and say, "What'd you see? Show me your camera."
Yeah.
At least they have phones
we had-
now. They have phones. They can take a
I
picture.
know,
Back
I
then,
know.
what did you do?
Back then you had to
35
develop. You had
millimeter
a
film.
And he
You had a
ground me
notebook.
out. No, it was a notebook. It was a little, like, how you take notes. And
But now all you'd have to do is
spiral.
Like this.
Yeah, take
You don't
pictures.
need to take a
I
note.
know. I know.
It'd be awesome.
Then it was like 10:15.
But the problem
squirrel.
is, my kids are too old. They'll say, "Heck no, I'm not doing that." Same with yours, Carter.
Well, what are you going to do? You're going to be turned in for child endangerment. There's a swaying in the top of an aspen tree. I sat in, I don't know how many aspen trees. You know how many I watched fall over while I'm up there? You know what I mean? I mean, dude,
They're
multiple.
roots.
You're just a
multiples.
wide-eyed,
Oh,
8-year-old
wide-eyed
old? Or
drooler.
what? How old
you're
are
watching a little dirt pit where salt used to be, and you're, hey,
Yeah.
tell me what comes in here. I want to know
That's
every
right.
buck, doe,
Wow, this
the time
salt's
they
getting
came.
hit. You know what? I'll be back after dark. You're getting up in
Get in
that
the
tree.
tree. Tell me every deer that came in and what time, how long they spent there, and if the does were dominant or the bucks kicked the does off. All those types. Of
I had a great childhood.
that was one you'd
I
like
did.
to forget.
That
period.
That's true. Having said that, he was teaching me, what are the 3 P's? Persistence, patience, and perseverance, or something like that.
don't know.
I thought you were gonna say
Anyway,
3 S's.
persistence, patience, and perseverance, something like that. Anyway, and he did. I can sit in a tree with the best of them. I haven't in a long time.
Yeah.
But you can't.
There's tree stands that are embedded in trees in the Southwest Desert, and I'm like, I'm in a little cedar tree or whatever.
But anyway, so here
Juniper.
you are one night, or morning, whatever it was. You're in the tree, and in walks
Yeah,
Corky.
so-
Corky.
Yeah, how Corky. Yeah. So anyway, we're on the South Mountains, and I mean, anyway, I'm up there and swaying in an aspen.
And you're
That's
actually
what I do.
hunting though now. You're
I'm
legally hunting,
yeah.
not just a human
I'm legally
trail
hunting.
camera.
Not.
Okay.
I'm legally hunting. Don't have any idea what's coming in because if we did, Garth would have been there, which is fine. I don't. It is what it is. And this buck comes in with like a 14. I can see it. I can see it right now. There's some images you have your whole life. And
Well,
this
and
sucker,
you're close. You don't need mine.
oh, it was on his left side. Comes corkscrewing. It was like a big old corkscrew, and it came down alongside of his face. And I'm like, I am shizzing. I mean,
What are you, 14 or 15?
Oh, whatever.
At
the
least
legal
12.
age. I know I was legal.
13, 14.
I know I was legal. Whatever that was. And I couldn't get that bow drawn.
Probably
what do you think
only
it
a
was? 43 pounder?
pounder.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not draw it, shaking shit. And I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to tell Dad. I'm going to tell him I'm an idiot. And a giant came in, and
now
I
you
couldn't
know
pull my
if
bow
you
back.
tell
I'm
him-
embarrassed.
And then he's going to ask you what the deer was, and he's going to say, all right, I'm sitting there tonight. You're
yeah, exactly. It's so, yeah,
So that was your
good
one
point. I
chance.
didn't-
Nothing
that
came
was
in.
one chance.
Nothing came in,
This
Dad.
bow is getting drawn back come heck or high water. I finally get it back. I mean, I'm
did.
just.
And is the deer
dude,
chin-
shooting,
he
shooting
locked on you?
fingers,
If
shooting fingers. I had calloused fingers.
Yeah.
You know how the old men
Yeah.
were. You're shooting fingers, kid. You're learning, and it's true. And I had calloused fingers. So anyway, yeah, I pulled back, and I'm all over that deer. I'm all over him, but I'm like, you kind of pick the path.
pick
You
the
pick
path,
the path,
yeah.
and when the path came roughly around the kill zone, I let her rip, and it bounced out off of his hip. It bounced out. Off he went.
Did it?
Oh, dude. No
In-
problem.
in your
Shot that
mind
arrow
now,
again.
In your mind now, knowing what you know about mule deer
Game
now,
getter, arrows is aluminum, whatever. Yeah. Anyway.
knowing what you know now, how big do you think that deer was?
I don't
If you had to guess, like with what your knowledge is now,
mean, you
envision
had 3.5 inch eye
was
guards.
he a
He had-
4x4
Oh.
with a corkscrew?
4x4 with a corkscrew.
Okay.
With 3.5 inch eye guards, probably
You don't
19.5 inches of mass. I'm just looking at
You
him right
don't
now.
have one of those deer right now.
No,
with a
you need
corkscrew.
them all.
That's
No,
what mean.
I don't.
This
I
would
don't.
be a very unique collection.
be-
Even
yeah.
Jason Carter's. So do you
Well.
think it was 190 plus? If you had to guess,
I mean, yeah, probably.
He's
How could
got
he not be?
Well, that's a
How could he not
170,
be?
176
How could he
inch
not
frame
be?
with a 14-inch drawback.
Yeah, big old backs and. I don't know what to say.
It's an
I was
awesome story.
shizzing down both legs. I know that, and I'm embarrassed. I was embarrassed. Like, and to kick buck fever took me till I was in my mid to upper 20s maybe, and I finally got so mad at myself. I was like, we put how much effort and energy do we put in each of our hunts?
Oh,
Let alone the
Tons.
dollar figure.
Yeah, that's right.
We're talking time, energy. We think about it all year round, and then the moment of truth comes. You prepared for this test. You've prepared for a year, sometimes 5 years, 3 years, following a buck or whatever, and you finally get on him. And I just thought, like I have to pull it together. And it was just, I think a lot of it was just getting mad at myself in the field, in the heat of battle, and just be like, you pull it together, you kill him, and now every time I'll start hacking. And I mean, right after the kill, I'm a mess. I'm hacking and I'm an absolute wreck with buck fever after the kill. Now.
This reminds me of my first hunt. It really does. It's very similar. We had it was more common. Our dads, I guess, both salted back in the day, back when you could do that in Utah and hunt over it. And for bow hunting back then, I think you could hunt. It was like dedicated. You could hunt archery, and if you didn't kill, you could hunt the rifle and muzzleloader later. It was like you didn't have to choose.
You wiped your rear end with tags back then.
Yeah,
Like
it kinda
tags were for whoever wanted to buy one.
And I was 14, and I remember there was this spot, and it was not even a salted area. It was just a livestock salt, but we were packed in a couple miles, and there was this livestock salt area that we always knew. You would always, a trail went by, you'd always be kicking bucks off it all the time. Yeah. And we checked it a couple times, and you're busting bucks, and we busted nice bucks off it. I'm probably thinking, I think they're probably 160 to 80 bucks, which to a 14-year-old kid might as well be a 220.
Oh.
I mean, a 160 buck when you're
Oh,
14.
Oh, yeah.
But that was where I was going to go. My dad and his buddy were going to go up to high country and spot and stalk, but I had a tag, and Aaron was there. I was 14, he's 11, and I remember making a brush blind. It was in oaks, so you had. What do you do in oak? You got to make a brush blind.
We all had a little. I mean, we all had the
saws.
little. Yeah,
and we made a brush blind.
It was part of your backpack.
An opening day, I'm crouched. I had no stool, nothing. You're just kneeling down, and I look over and here they're coming. on the ground, and I lost my crap because you're just losing it, and I'm on the ground. They snort and take off, and I mean, like, that really about happened, and so I was walking back to the cabin on a trail, and I'm walking. Aaron stayed there all by himself, 11 years old. You know, Dad's gone. I'm gone. I'm thinking now, and we're back in the back country.
Yeah. And
I was so mad and I'm walking back, and I jumped this forky on the trail walking back. He jumps, walks up, stops, and I'm like, I'm killing that, because I was just so mad, just like you. After that, I was so mad. I pulled an arrow, 44 yards. I remember, and I hit him right. I thought I drilled him, but I hit him in the guts.
You know, you probably hit him in the liver.
Oh no.
But
okay. I hit him right there, and he took off, and I'm like excited. So I looped around, went clear back, got Aaron. You know, he's probably only like a 15-minute hike back up there. Yeah. Got him, come back. We start tracking this deer. It'd been probably an hour, but we track it down. We get down, we find the deer. He's bedded down, and he's alive. So we back out. We go back to the cabin. You know, we're like 14 and 11 years old. We're just like
kids.
Yeah.
You know. And so we go back, and the deer's dead right in the bed. I mean, a big buck would have blown out, and you'd have never got him. But a little 2-point, he's there, you know. And I wasn't either confident enough or to get in and try to shoot him again. But I just knew if he's not
dead.
Good,
you didn't. You actually let him. You actually backed out.
Yep.
And nowadays we're teaching that.
Oh yeah. So there's just before we go back. He's the smallest. He's little. But
who cares?
But I was wound up, and so then Aaron and I literally, I may have told this on a podcast before.
I don't remember. But go ahead.
We had, because this scenario played out. Dad's like, well, I'd probably watched him a couple times gut something, but when you're 12 or 14, you're not. Now, what do you do here? And you're not making notes. You're just like, hold this leg, and you do it, and you're like, this is kind of wild, you know. And so
I remember Dad rammed the butthole on this one, but I don't know.
Yeah. So literally,
that was back in the day. That's what we did. Gen Z, have you ever gutted an animal?
No.
No.
You don't do that anymore.
My kids don't
You
either.
do the gutless method.
My kid.
Me neither, but they don't need to know, Adam.
So remember the Outdoor
we
Life?
had pee everywhere.
In Outdoor Life magazine, they had those pages of how to field dress your animal. I had those folded up in my fanny pack. I'm 14 and Aaron's 11, and we lay him out in the brush and we're like, first, ream the butt. Okay. You know,
it's true.
And because you have to read for, like, really wide, and you got to read way for it to the very end.
Oh yeah, that's a valid step.
Okay, I can't skip that because I see that's going to come in handy later.
The blood's
really, I'm like, that's the first thing you do? No,
come on.
And that's what
keep
you
evidence
do.
of sex, which we always kept the testicles, and they always fall off.
But somehow, after probably 2 hours, we gutted it, and we drug that thing probably, it's at least a half a mile back to the cabin. And my dad
shot it in the guts, too.
Oh, yeah. It was gut shot. It was festered everywhere. We drag it back. It's August. And we grabbed some rope, we're trying to hang it, and I remember this is midday, my dad's back from the morning hunt, and there's Aaron and I, we got this forky at the front porch of the cabin, and we started skinning it, and he's like, whoa. And I'm like, and I just like, yeah, because my standards were, it's a 4-point only, but I remember the night before, it was either sex, and I said, Dad, I might shoot any buck. I'm so wound up. You know, I said, I will not shoot a doe, but a doe is legal. But when I blew it on those bucks like you, I was so mad. I was like, Frank, I'm so mad. And that it didn't matter. That buck stood up and I let one rip. Yes. So the buck fever stuff, I totally get it. And the mad at yourself, I totally get it. That 2-point met his demise because I couldn't hold it together. The first time opening day of archery deer season, 14 years old. That's all it took. But man, I'll never forget
they're
it.
good stories, though.
Never forget it.
They're good, and that's probably about the time the butt out tool was made.
Oh yeah, they didn't have that.
They invented that. We laugh about it, but I mean, hey, it's probably many people using that.
That's right. But I mean, I probably for the first. At least all through high school, we gutted all of our animals back then. So
all of them.
We got them.
All of them.
I remember my dad's probably the first to introduce. It was maybe late high school or, I don't know, college or something. It was just not what you did. You gutted your deer and you drug it wherever your truck was. That's what you did. That's what you did. And hair was missing off of sides of deer because sometimes it was a mile.
If you wanted to mount it, you're like trying to keep the chest up off. And
it was a mess.
Hurry up, kid.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have old man strength.
It's downhill.
Like, come on.
It's downhill. And you're like, doesn't matter.
Some hair on your chest. Drag that thing. You know, I mean, geez.
But anyway. Good
No, the
times.
human trail cam thing, I mean, it's legit. It was just, I wish I'd have been the human trail camera on a unit with good genetics. Like, and we talk about the corkscrew, but there's that buck and one other buck that was a non-typical cheaters everywhere, running like crazy at long distance. Yeah. And I remember it like it was yesterday. Other than that, those are the only two animals I ever saw that were
In all your years of
all
human
the
trail
years,
cameraing.
all the years. I mean, I had a lion laying under me. I'm shizzing down both legs. No pistol. My dad, he didn't like pistols.
Lions and bears aren't going to hurt you. Come on, just get in the tree.
He just told me, hey, have you ever heard of somebody having issues? Well, no, but we also didn't have social media, and we don't even buy a magazine. So I only talked to like 4 people. Of course they haven't had an issue. Social media, I mean, I've got friends and family that are absolutely scared of lions and bears.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
it does happen.
People have had,
If you hear it now, it's on every news media. If a bear or a lion mauls somebody in western United States, it's on the news every night.
Logan, I want to call you Gen Z, but I haven't gotten the okay to call you Gen Z.
Hey, that's okay. I'm Gen Z, I'm Juicebox, and I'm Logan.
Juicebox! Juicy! So,
juicing.
I mean, are you nervous about bears and lions? Like, do you pack when you're in the hills and you're out shed hunting?
I'll say I usually pack, so I'm not that nervous. But I grew up with my dad. He just taught me never to care about
not
bears
to
and
care.
lions.
That's right. Don't care.
He always said they're way more scared of you than you are. Them,
that's right. That's what my dad said.
We had a different childhood. My dad was scared. My dad was scared of the dark. And he's 6'4". Yeah. He's a big dude.
Oh, yeah.
And he would carry a .44 Magnum, like the big long hunting.
Like you're not playing a joke on him at midnight in camp.
No. One time we're sleeping on the trampoline. He comes out in his underwear with his .44 strapped to his
your house,
and he's like, the horses are going crazy next
at your
door.
house.
Yeah, at our house, at our backyard. Well, we kind of lived in the country. Yeah.
Okay.
And anyway,
he's like,
so funny. And
get in the house. I'm going to take care of business.
Yeah, Bigfoot. He's a firm believer.
What? Sasquatch and
my
Bigfoot?
Gosh.
John.
Dude.
Maybe we need him on a podcast.
He has Bigfoot stories like crazy.
What?
Like they found, he was bear hunting in Montana, and he swears they found Bigfoot tracks. And they measured the stride and stuff.
Let's divert this podcast, go right back into the trail cams and stuff.
Crazy. Anyway, I had a different childhood,
So it was. If it made a noise in the night, it was the worst. Yeah. The worst case scenario. That's what it was.
That's what it
John,
was.
Are you packing when you go to the hills?
Yes. Yeah. and mostly for those sheepdogs. They give me nightmares.
They are. Hey, they're no joke. They're no joke.
I don't.
I've been in the middle of those.
I just don't hunt around sheepdog until I solve that.
Usually the game are gone when the sheep are around.
I know.
But hiking
I'm
through them.
I know that now. And I'll pull a hammy, and then what do? If you're your friends, it's just like, a lion or another bear. What are they keying on? The lame, the sick. If I'm running with my kids or something and I pull a hammy,
which is
you're
likely.
keying in on you.
Hey,
it's going to happen. It will happen.
So we're talking about. I guess we're talking about getting old, Bronson. You've done those kind of things, stubbed a toe, whatever. You're out of break a toe. You and Ty, we've all talked about that on the podcast. Yeah. But remember the other day when we were down at the Mexican restaurant and we were having food, we were grabbing our lunch, and we were talking about getting old or something, and that lady just started laughing. There was a gal in there laughing.
We're talking amongst ourselves, and she's getting.
And I'm like, geez,
garnishes
and
or
you
whatever.
said something about getting old, and she started laughing. And I go, and I didn't think she could hear me, and I'm like, this gal's laughing at us, And she turned to me and she goes, "We call it getting mature."
And I like that lady.
I liked it too.
I like it.
I like it. It kind of did something.
I wanted to buy her lunch, but she had already paid.
Well, it kind of did something for me. I was like,
but I'm not sure.
She changed it from getting old to, I think that's attractive that you're getting old. Well, right.
Whether she meant it that way or not, the word mature versus old, I will always choose the word mature.
Gen Z, what do you have to say about that?
I would think that you guys are getting old. Yeah.
We're getting mature, boss.
I'm still maturing every day.
Oh, man. Anyway,
I like it.
One other, you know what? I want to clear. Sometimes I guess we got to do these retractions here and there. We're not doing a retraction today. No more. We only did 2 on our whole podcast career.
They did
never
involve
doing another
legal hunting methods, so we did have to do that.
Yeah, I don't want somebody going to jail. Yeah. But you don't even go to jail for hard stuff anymore. So whatever. I don't think there'll be a problem. But
what are we talking about?
Well, remember when we've heard through the grapevine when we were talking about San Juan versus San Juan Abajo. And at times, people misconstrue what we say. We do a lot of consulting, Bronson. We're talking to 50 people a day,
Oh, yeah.
maybe more. And
Fillmore, Oak Creek.
that's right.
We've had people
yes.
draw the Fillmore unit and go ecstatic with us on the phone.
Yeah, and then
And
you're
we're
like, you don't have an Oak
a
Creek
general
tag.
season muzzleloader deer tag is what you got.
And it's kind of not a great area
It's
right now.
not the best.
You know?
Not the Oak Creek. Across the highway is a different story. Anyway,
Right.
To your point,
That
what?
kind of thing.
Sometimes we talk about things and somebody.
I had a guy call one of the guys and say Jason's just an absolute liar.
He's sandbagging on
Yeah,
certain
he said. Is there? He told me there's no 200 inchers. You do not expect a 200 incher in the San Juan Abajo, and that's just not the case. Look, like they were talking about it on the podcast. How many other big bucks there were? Look at the cover buck. This and that.
It's
Yeah,
not
the
a-
cover buck
not a
was on
general-
San Juan Elk Ridge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just like a Fillmore Oak Creek buck was on Oak Creek, not Fillmore Pavance.
Right.
It's Fillmore.
Right.
It's only Fillmore,
Right.
or it's Fillmore Oak Creek.
So I just want to say,
and this is the tip for people: don't apply for the Fillmore late muzzle and think that that's going to be an awesome rut hunt on the Fillmore Oak Creek.
and the San Juan Abajo is fine for general.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
fine for general.
But know what you're applying for.
But
And
I'm
it's a
not going
different
to ever
category.
tell somebody to go there for a 200 incher, even though there has been one killed.
Oh yeah,
maybe
there's
20.
a couple every year,
I don't know.
probably on thousands of hunters.
Right.
But yeah, so all right.
So as we're consoling, just give us the benefit of the doubt. We're not out and out liars. Hunters, though, I think they're programmed to think, well, why would these guys tell me the truth, right? But we're not competing with you. We're talking to non-residents. We've got our own plans. We like to hunt near our places, houses, whatever. So anyway, just
where there's no sheepdogs. That's what I like.
don't like hunting sheepdogs, Sasquatch or whatever, Bigfoot. Don't like him. Whatever. So anyway, kind of interesting. Well, I'm just wondering.
Oh. I always get.
I like
nervous.
these stories.
I get nervous.
It's been a fun podcast.
It's been a fun
What?
podcast. Like
Yeah.
I'm just wondering
Where
if
are
we
we going?
shouldn't call another couple guys out of the February magazine. We're talking about Utah, Oregon, New Mexico. I've got a buddy that killed a big old deer in New Mexico. We deal with him,
Call him.
both of us,
Do it.
Bronson.
Yeah.
Should we
I like
call
it.
him? What if he answers
the
weird?
idea.
I get. He
Hey,
is
we can edit.
professional.
We can edit.
No,
this
he's
stuff.
professional. He's a good guy, but
He
I
might
also,
He might be thinking. We also. Hey, this is a disclaimer right now. We are not going to be calling anybody in the next till we do our membership drive. Because remember, people might start losing his crap on you right now.
Good point. We
People
did that.
start-
we
well-
even call him just from consulting or from license application.
So-
What did I win?
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Your credit card's invalid. We need a new card.
We're trying to buy you. We're trying to buy you for Oregon. Whatever, All right. Well, hold on.
So
let's
he
call,
might be a little excited.
Let's call Jared Tindall. It's in our publication. It's in the February magazine, page 124. Smashed a freaking 220s, giant, mostly frame.
Yeah.
Sick, freaking
Basically,
deer.
5x5 is all he is. But
Yeah,
he's,
and he won the raffle.
Yeah.
Didn't hardly put any tickets in. I just think, why does that not happen to me? And it always happens to him. It always happens to him. All right, I'm gonna call him.
we have
He's
the
been
right.
he sent me some information on what he's got point wise and wants me to consult. He might be thinking I'm ready to sit down and really grind out your schedule. But let's just see what he says, and maybe he'll give us a few tips and tricks. He's been really successful, dude.
He hunts all over the West. He's
Goat
aggressive.
Wyoming. I mean,
lives
he's
from Texas and applies all over the West. He's a good example of trying to make something happen and have your name in
we
about
kind of
every hat.
hunted against each other a little bit in
Well,
Colorado.
you
Not
did,
bad.
yeah.
Not bad.
Oh, yeah. We ended up finding out you're in the same unit, but not until you got there.
Yeah. But
So.
yeah, he was in a good area. And I was
sense.
in a good area too. There we go. Let's see what he has to say. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just trying to make $1.
Hey.
I got Bronson and John here. We got you on the podcast.
Awesome. How are you guys doing today?
Good. That was a subtle hint to keep her clean. No, Carter.
We don't have to worry about you.
Well, we never know. We just when you call somebody totally out of the blue, you never know when they see Carter's name pop up. They're going to just go with a
And they
string of adjectives that you may not be able to repeat.
mention my real nickname.
Right.
Who knows?
But no, we're just talking
What are you
about.
guys talking about today?
Well, we've been talking about hunt giveaway stuff, and then we got talking about stuff in our February magazine, and we got your buck. We highlighted that page 124 in February, and thought, well, maybe we'll give him a quick call and have you Tell us about that awesome experience that you had, winning a raffle tag and just all the emotions that went through that. And then, something that you'd never plan on drawing, right? We teed you up as well that you apply heavily around the West, and you have your name in a lot of places, and consequently you've drawn some tags.
You do really good.
Yeah.
You've killed a lot of game. And even you and I ended up on
got to be running out.
Even you and I ended up on the same knob once or twice.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
But anyway, this specific time is a tag. It's a raffle tag. It's something kind of like our membership drive hunts or state raffles. You don't plan on getting a call from anybody, but you got one.
Right.
When Jared and I ended up on the same knob. I mean, he remembers that podcast when we told people you beat people to the knob. You beat them.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, does he?
It's a mental thing, right? If you're there first and Jared drives up on me,
you kind of keep driving, or you just
feel weird. So I beat Jared every morning. I had to sit there for 2 hours for daylight.
You had dinner and breakfast on the same knob.
I may have. Anyway, Jared would tease me about that in the field. I mean, anyway, right? I'm telling the story right, am I?
Yeah, I think I beat you the last day, though.
I think you did, but you were actually helping me the last day.
He had already killed the deer, so you could sleep in.
He killed one, and he came and helped. And that was a rough old road, and you had this Ford diesel 3/4 ton beat you to death to get in there.
I know all the roads there. Yeah,
but Jared drove it like he stole it. I mean, not many guys can outdrive me, but he might have. Give him a half ton, and he would have.
Right.
Oh. All right. Well, I don't know where you want to start. You've got a lot of adventures. You've hunted goats in multiple places, deer, elk, all kinds of stuff. You've got a lot of plans and whatnot. But anyway, maybe start in with this New Mexico deer just because it's deer, and that's special, and then it's giant.
Well, I mean, it's been a lifelong dream of mine to have a gov tag or a statewide tag of that sort. So, always play the raffles because I can't afford to buy one, and you never really think you're going to win, but sure enough, that day I got the call and just couldn't believe it. And I had quite a few hunts planned for the fall, but obviously, this had to take priority. So I rearranged my schedule to where I could spend as much time as I could myself up there because I really, luckily it's adjoining to my home state, so it's not terribly far for me. So I wanted to commit as much time as I possibly could to it, and just a dream come true, really, and I was a little worried about the year. It's been tough in New Mexico the last few years, and just started, grinding country and learning roads and learning units. And, as fall started coming, then more and more deer started showing up from Colorado and, just changing terrain. And I was kind of starting to get nervous, honestly. I wasn't seeing the caliber of deer that I was expecting to see, being able to bounce from unit to unit, and just keep going is all you can do. I had planned to be off the entire month of December if needed, and so I had loaded up the family, and we went up. As the story shows in the magazine that people can read. But I loaded my family up and was gonna make them go with me for a few days before Thanksgiving there, since the kids were out of school. So that's it was an enjoyable time. Obviously, the kids wanted to be a part of it, so it was fun to have them tag along. And we decided to leave for Thanksgiving, and been talking to Anthony Hampton there at Hampton Trophy Outfitters, and he come across a buck that thought might be the one. So I dropped the family in East Texas and headed back, and I talked to Carter about this deer on the way, and it's one of those deer that pictures just really didn't do it justice. When I arrived there and I saw the deer in person, it was just kind of a no-brainer, just from what everybody had seen and the way the year was looking like. You never know what might turn up, but man, it's a special deer when you see him in person. And so it was a several-day grind there, trying to get him killed. He was living on private, and he was vulnerable on private. You could see him every day, but he just never would make a mistake and slip off for us for several days. So that was kind of starting to take a toll on us. But eventually he slipped up, and we were able to get him killed. And just, man, it's just such a such an honor to have a tag like that, and then also to find a buck of that caliber and get him killed. It's an indescribable experience, really. It's just it's hard to believe that it actually did come together for me, but something I'll remember forever, and definitely will be spending more money on raffle tickets in the future. So
we've got a couple of deer hunts in our membership drive.
If you'll check the bucket, you'll see my name on it.
Okay.
Which ones did you apply for?
We haven't gone through that yet.
Oh man, yeah! What an incredible opportunity! Just you drawing the tag. You spend $100. At least that's what you said. I don't know.
Yeah,
best $100 ever spent. That
So
was
I
the
think I
title.
need to send my credit card statement to you. So
I told him he's a liar. Jared's a little bit of a gambler. He
will
wins.
disclose something on this. I'll tell you this.
You were on top of the
some
pile.
Some of my buddies I've told, but I looked at my credit card statement, and I think they accidentally double charged me.
Oh, 200.
I have two $100 charges.
I knew it. I knew you didn't only spend $100. I knew
But
it.
in his defense,
So technically, I spent $200.
but what you might have
Just come clean.
only had 5 entries though instead of the double. So they might have
Yeah,
charged
I
you
don't
double
know.
charge you,
Maybe
but only
you fight.
give
See
you.
if you'll give it 5 more entries in this next year.
Hey, I wouldn't
Maybe.
ruffle any feathers.
I wouldn't say
Just
a
do
word.
the same
No.
thing.
No.
You stole it. You stole it. Whatever you
stole
did,
it.
even
Yep.
at $5,000, you stole it.
Yeah.
I knew he spent
But I
more
thought that
though.
was
You
funny.
can just come clean, Jared. It's not a big deal.
I'll send you the credit card statement.
Living
I'll
a
do it.
lie is hard. It's hard.
Hey, it gives everybody hope because $100 at some point is hopefully somebody
Oh,
at some point in their life can throw $50, $100 in some of these
It's
elite
true.
statewide tags and just
true.
forget about it. And then all of a sudden you get a call in June or July, whenever it was, that like, holy cow, your season or your fall is pretty much set by then for the most part with stuff
Right.
you knew you were going to draw or knew you were going to book or whatever. And now you've got to superimpose that on. And, of course, you've got long liberal seasons, which, like you said, you may hunt other states and then, hunt the rut, as you alluded. Some of those deer come out of the woodwork out of weird places or maybe even migrate in from other states in New Mexico like Colorado. So, that's where your focus was, and it obviously paid off. So got a buck that trailed the doe a little too far off of some private.
Well, and it's in a
Right.
traditionally good unit, and just I think too, to explain, this was the auction tag gave you very liberal season dates, and you could, like when you said skipping unit to unit, it allowed you to do that. But just having your name in the hat, you got to have your name in all the hats you ever want to tag in that you can afford to be in. So, and you're good at
Yes, sir.
that,
That's
man.
exactly right.
I mean, just really quick off the top of your head, just list some of the tags you've had and drawn. You've had the good fortune of drawing. I mean, it's disgusting.
Well, I've drawn two goat tags in the lower 48. I drew Colorado in, I believe, 19, and then I drew Wyoming last year, the last year before the rule changed. So
Yep.
both of those were, just horrible odds, but I pulled it off.
Yeah.
I've drawn a random archery tag in Arizona that I didn't have max points for. They're in Unit 1 back in 18 or 19, and I'm trying to think of some of the others. But, yeah, I've been very fortunate. But, I mean, like you say, you put your name in all the hats you can, and
Yep. And then you're
those percentages
supplemented.
add up.
Yeah, you're supplemented with a landowner tag here and there, whatever. Like you're playing the game just like we're all doing, and you're doing a good job at it. So anyway,
Appreciate that.
Hunted some of our favorite units, even Unit 22 in Colorado. Some of that stuff. You've spent a lot of time in a
Yes,
lot
sir.
of different units. So
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what it takes. Just learning new country and just being somewhere.
Yep.
You can't kill anything if you're at the house. So got to
Yeah.
just spend as much time as you can out there.
Yep. All right. Well, you got anything else for him? What other
No,
info
that's
can we
awesome.
suck out of Jared? Because I mean, whatever you get isn't as much as he's going to get out of you. You're good at that, Jared. I give him a hard time. We're really,
yes, sir.
really good friends. But no,
you probably got a list of questions on your desk from me now that I'll be beating you up on.
Yeah, there is. Seems like there is an Excel spreadsheet that we need to go over. So,
come to think of it,
why haven't I gotten I'm not getting back to you in a timely manner. Is that what you're going to tell me? Oh, good times.
Just
well,
giving you a hard time.
Oh, I love it. And this deer, just for reference sake, give us a few specs on him. Just, when you're talking on a podcast, it's one thing, but like give some people something to visualize. It's a giant 4-point frame. Give us a few specs.
Yeah, so I actually had him scored last night, and it's unofficial results, but he ended up grossing 221 and an eighth. Looks like his net typical frame is going to be, I believe it was 191 and 7/8 because of the extras, but
yeah.
So he
still nets book with 20 inches.
Yeah,
of
he
trash.
still nets book, right?
And he's got a huge
sir.
end line.
Yeah,
I mean,
2 inches.
Right.
He nets
Basically a
book.
5x5. Yeah.
You can officially put him in the book at 191.
Yes, sir. 191 and
Gosh.
7/8, I believe it was. So
Yeah, and he's a 5x5. I mean, he's got looks like a 10-incher and a 6 or 8
Yeah,
incher. What 5, 8 incher, whatever it is.
Yeah,
so.
what did his frame gross?
I didn't see the entire sheet. We had it in the field at 211, but I want to say he said it was 208 and 5/8.
Then
on the
minus
frame.
Trash.
14 inches of trash or something. Wow.
It's pretty impressive.
Pretty awesome.
It's unbelievable, actually. Unbelievable. How wide was he?
is. 33 outside. Inside of the beams was like right around 26.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Awesome buck, man. I mean, you all want one
Yes.
like that, and then you want his brother that looks just a little different, too.
I want one. I want his dad. I don't want Jared's. I want to beat Jared.
Well, that's
The first thing Carter
Jason.
said about the deer, he said, I wish he had matching inlines.
I don't even remember that. Did I say that?
Hey,
You
Jared.
did say that.
I was a jerk.
Wow. That
Basically, you said, I wouldn't shoot that shot.
I did not say that. I did not. I've got the text log, and I said, dude, that thing could be bigger than you think, whatever it
And
is.
he's a-
Right,
but
you
he's-
did.
but he's
you did
mismatched.
say, I wish he had
Don't
matching
you?
inlines.
Don't you?
Jared, if it makes you feel a little bit better, we just got done talking about some of our very first archery deer hunts, and Jason and I, when we were like 13 or 14 or 15 years old, whatever we were, and he still vividly remembers a straight 4-point.
Why are you telling my stories?
Listen, with a corkscrew dropper on one side. It wasn't even matching corkscrew dropper.
It wasn't.
But he's still talking about that buck,
Hey.
and it wasn't mismatched. It wasn't matched.
It was. I'm talking about it because it was my first
Okay.
special encounter.
Okay. Well, so sometimes a single of something is all right. Jason. So, anyway.
Good. Hey, I'd shoot his deer on any freaking tag.
Yeah.
Any freaking tag. It's an amazing deer.
Yeah.
Jared's just one guy we can be really frank with each other. I mean, dude, we've spent some time glassing against each other here and there. So it's pretty awesome.
sir.
Good
Well,
stuff. Good stuff.
appreciate the
Yeah,
time.
the only sad part.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, guys.
I was
No,
just saying,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, sad part.
I was just going to say the only sad part about the whole deal is I had the whole month of December off, and I blew it and killed too early. So
Yeah. Well, you
Dang
don't.
it.
In a less than stellar year, it was better last year than the prior 2 years.
Yeah.
In most these southern states, but it wasn't off the charts incredible. You don't pass 220 bucks in New Mexico. You don't. But the governor
don't
tag,
pass them in
statewide
Arizona.
raffle, you don't. Exactly. So you did the absolutely right thing. Odds are you probably want to kill the bigger buck. I mean, I'll just
probably not, but
Yeah.
it always makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, the best time's coming up down there. It's pretty incredible what shows up, and then you just never know. And it's fun being out there. And I don't know, I still don't know exactly what you do for a living because you have a lot of time. You have a ton of time.
Well,
Jason?
my wife might think I'm working more than I am.
Wives need to know everything.
Good thing she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Never let her listen to the podcast. Oh, all right, buddy. Well, congrats, deer of a lifetime. It's not going to be your only deer of a lifetime. You've
Well,
killed some
thank
great
you, guys.
animals and more to come. So it's pretty awesome.
Appreciate everything you guys do.
You
I
bet.
really do.
Good luck in the
All right.
draws.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
You
Y'all
bet.
have a good one.
Yep,
You
we'll
bet.
see you.
Bye.
Bye.
It's fun to give him a hard time. He's just one of those guys you gotta You got to give him a hard time because he's going to give you a hard time. Let's call one more story. I'm loving these stories.
Right.
One more? One more?
All right, we're an hour and a half in, but good. It's lunchtime.
Let's just do. There was a 220-incher killed in Utah.
He may not answer. So yeah, let's
may
go
not.
for it.
Let's try.
Get another one.
All right. 220. 220s.
Hi, you have reached Chandler with.
Okay. We'll save that for the next one.
Hold on. One more time. You know, now it's going.
Screen.
Hello.
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, just getting out of a meeting. You?
Oh, we're doing a podcast. I got you on with Bronson and John Peterson and Gen Z. How are you?
Oh, fabulous.
We're kind of doing a few stories, and you killed an absolute monster here in Utah, general season. So general season deer, and just kind of want to get the quick story. I know it happened quick and whatnot, but just kind of wanted to hear it from you. It's just such a stud. You rarely find a deer of this caliber on a general season.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, I'd been working with Trevor a little bit, trying to get things organized, and we decided we would start opening day. That hunt is short. It's like 7 or 8 days long.
This is Trevor Hunt, right? Trevor Hunt of Pine Creek? Okay.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yep.
And we decided we'd hunt the whole hunt and see what we could come up with. So I got up there the day before, and we went and looked at a few spots, and we'd been hearing from everybody that it was just a terrible year and that there was nothing to be had. And you know how it is. It's not what it used to be, all the stuff.
It's true. All of those things are true.
Yes. And I'm kind of the opinion that I just don't buy it. You know what I mean? Like, it's
somewhere there's a big deer.
There's big deer around, whether they're in cover or whether they're just nocturnal or whatever. They're around. It's not that they're not here. You just got to spend enough time doing it that at some point you're going to catch the odds, you know?
Yeah.
And so we went out the night before, and we didn't even see a single deer. And I was with Trevor's sub guide, Taryn, and he was like, oh man, he was kind of bummed that we weren't seeing anything. And I was it's all right. It's whatever. It's windy. Nothing really going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So the next day we went out and we didn't see a single deer the whole day.
2 days in a row.
Yes, 2 days in a row. Wow. The second day is opening day.
Sounds like general season Utah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that was Saturday, opening day. And my kids had the primary program on Sunday. So I told Taryn, I'm going to go to the primary program. He wanted to go home. He had something to do as well. And we'd meet up Sunday night back at camp.
Not Monday. Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah, we did that. I got back up there, and it had snowed like crazy. Well, we were both gone.
Which is rare.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
We were all out opening week of deer last year.
Yeah.
Jason, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Windy.
Yep.
Stormed.
It was so
But
cold.
those are the conditions. Not the windy, but the snow is what you dream for.
Well, and it turned bitter. It turned really windy and then really cold. Like it went from balmy to like it, and it never warmed up all from that point on last fall. Anyway, yeah, I remember that storm.
Right, and it was just miserable. And so that night, the Sunday night, I'm sleeping in the camp trailer. I got the heater going, the generator going, you know, the freaking carbon monoxide thing was going off like every 15 minutes. And I was like,
I hate that.
But you unplug
You
it.
don't know if it's true or not.
I always unplug mine.
Finally, I unplugged it, and then there's another one. There's two in this trailer, and I was like, oh my gosh, I might actually
I'm really
be
gonna die. I really
do need to crack the window.
So I turned the generator off and just froze the rest of the night because I was like, well, it ain't gonna do me any good if I'm dead. So
yeah.
So we did that. We got up in the morning, and Taryn come in the trailer, and he's like, it is freezing. We should just go right around the truck. And I was like, nah. We went up this canyon the other night, and it is good country. And it just snowed. If we're ever going to have an opportunity, it's this morning. And I know from in the past, my dad getting me out of bed when I don't want to go. Those are
he
the
trained
mornings
you.
that it
He
happens.
trained you for this.
You can hear his voice in the back of your head right
Yes.
Get your butt out
No,
of
my
bed.
dad would never let me live it down if I told him that I rode around in the truck because it was cold or because I didn't want to go or whatever.
Mhm.
So whether it's out of obligation or getting harassed or whatever, we went up the canyon.
Which canyon are we talking about? I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
The canyon.
The canyon.
The canyon.
No tell 'em canyon.
Yes.
All right,
yes,
keep
the
going.
canyon.
Keep going.
All right, so we get cruising up this canyon, and we stop in Glass right as the sun's coming up. Nothing, and we keep pedaling a little bit further, and soon enough, these two guys on four-wheelers are like right behind us, and we're like, well, we'll just keep carrying on, right? And hopefully they go down a different road. There's only one road up this canyon, so like, and then it just dead ends, and you have to drive back out the same road.
Yeah.
So we get cruising up that road, and these guys just aren't going away. Like they're 50 yards behind us. And so we go through like 4 groups of does, and we've seen like 40 does at this point. And these guys behind us, they never even stopped at Glass. I don't know that they even seen a single one of them.
Maybe they're hunting cow elk. Who knows?
Yeah, you don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, we found out later they were hunting deer.
Okay.
And so
need to do a brake check.
A little bit further, there's a water at the bottom of this wash that we're in, and there's a camp right on it. Cars all around it. They're sleeping. I don't know what they're up to. Probably.
Hopefully the carbon monoxide didn't fail their genetic.
Their dad hadn't kicked them out of bed when they were young.
Yes, sir. Yep. So then we're 100 yards up the road, maybe 200 yards, and I was getting pretty late in the morning. It's like 8 o'clock by now or so.
Wow.
And I've kind of submitted myself to like, we're just going to suffer the rest of the way up this road. Like it's later than anything's going to be out.
Bad idea.
And I'm looking at birds,
Yeah.
And I felt there's this huge eagle. I was watching it. I was pretty enchanted with this friggin' eagle. And Taryn's like, yeah, there's a deer on this hill. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. This eagle's sweet. And he's like, no, you need to look. And so I turn around and look. And he's like, we can tell it's a big deer, but we can't tell what it is because the hill is so steep and it's got like a little crown on it. You could only see parts of the antlers. And Taryn was like, you need to shoot him. And I said, are you sure? He looks crabby on the one side. And he's like, yep, shoot him. And I was like, okay, I'm shooting him. And so we dumped him right there. And he dropped. And then we couldn't see him after that until we got all the way up there. So we're
just being out there, just being out there. You got to be out there.
You just gotta be.
So you walked up and saw, and then what?
Then we couldn't, like, the hill was bigger than we thought, I guess. So we were having a little trouble finding him. And it just snowed, like, it was like, where the heck is he? And then, so I was kind of going around the hill one way, and Taryn went the other way, and Taryn happened upon him, and I just heard him just like, oh my gosh, what did you do? And I'm like, oh man.
You're thinking small. You're thinking a dink. You're thinking smaller, and he's reacting because it's bigger, but you don't know.
You think you dumped a forked horn.
Right. I'm like, oh my gosh, I dumped a forked horn. And then I get up there, and I'm like, oh, whoa, buddy, like.
This is a deer.
Like, I've only ever seen one other 200-inch deer on the ground, and this was significantly bigger than that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like the biggest deer I've ever seen on the hoof. That I never even saw him on the hoof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you did for about 2 seconds, right? In your scope,
right.
And then boom, and then he was gone.
Right, but I never even looked at the antlers, nothing. I just dumped him because I just following orders.
Were the guys 50 yards behind you? Or did they peel off by then?
Yeah, well, they had stopped, and I shot, and they pulled up as we were going to walk up the hill, and they're like, did you shoot one of them big 4 points that's in here? And
nope, they're still alive. Mine's 9x9.
Yeah, I was like, "No, we just shot a deer. We're hunting for meat, whatever."
Yeah. Going up the
Because
road, you're not
honestly, we
bothering
had
us.
no idea.
You're not bothering us going up the road. There's a really cool eagle just up there in the tree.
Yep. So
Wow.
yeah, so they carried on, and I don't even know where they ended up, but we went up there, and yeah.
Wow,
Pretty
that's awesome.
Did they come back and get to,
Never saw him again, huh?
Never saw him
Oh,
again.
never
We
did.
just headed out, and we got back to camp, and then we decided that camp wasn't the place to take care of him, so we took him back to Trevor's.
No.
And got him all taken care of there at Trevor's, and we were good.
Yeah,
Jeez, he's
kind
an
of a
awesome
big
buck.
deal. You probably just, sticker shock for a minute and
Well,
might as well
Oh,
take him to
man.
town.
well,
So,
it's freezing on the mountain. Get back to at least have some.
garage.
Right.
And your hunt's over. You're done. So it's not like
Right.
you're
Right.
not going to camp in there with a couple carbon monoxide detectors going off at
Right.
night, and you're done. Let's go back somewhere in a real house.
We can dedicate
Right.
this deer
Yeah.
to all those mean dads that make people get out of bed.
That's right. Hey,
Yes,
it's okay
sir.
to be a mean dad.
and the other thing I'm picking up from this podcast, it's the second guy we've called in like 2-3 weeks that stopped, went to church, came back
Whoa.
and killed a giant buck.
That's a good point.
Right.
I mean, the second one out of like 3, and I didn't ask Tindall that just a minute ago on his New Mexico buck. Who knows? Maybe he went to church,
You might have.
went home, dropped his kids, went to church. But I mean, I'm picking up a serious theme here.
Right.
I wish church was 2 or 3 times a week.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty
That was-
awesome.
No,
It's not where my head was, but yeah, maybe.
sure.
Oh.
No, I'm a firm believer that the Lord will take care of you if
Yeah.
you just take care of your obligations. You do what you're supposed to do. The Lord's gonna bless you. And
Yeah.
it might not be right now. It might not be for 5 years, but at some point,
Yeah.
He's gonna take care of you.
No.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
All right.
Cool.
Good
cool
stuff,
story,
Chandler.
Man. And yeah, nice to have a dad's promptings in your head. Hey, made a difference that day.
Yes,
It was
sir.
awesome. And
Glad you didn't die or get asphyxiated or
Exactly.
whatever. Carbon monoxide.
jeez, I hate those in my
Yes,
trailer, 'cause
sir.
You
I
never know
do.
if you can trust them or not. It's just
No.
I don't. So
Right.
I don't fall back sleep the rest of the night. Usually,
No.
that's what happens.
No.
Right.
No.
You're scared.
Right.
Scared to fall asleep.
All right.
Well,
sir.
thanks for taking a minute out of your day. We know you're busy. Hopefully the meeting's over, and now you don't have to go back to whatever you stepped out of, the meeting-wise.
Now I have to go back out in the wind. And,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Well, good luck with that. We appreciate you answering the phone. First went to voicemail, so I figured you were probably talking to your dad, so I hit you again.
yeah. No, I had like 5 calls right in a row, so it
Oh.
worked out.
All right. Perfect.
So,
All right.
thanks,
Yeah.
Chandler.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congrats again. Yeah.
General
Awesome
season
buck.
Utah Giant. Jeez. All right.
Just got to be out there.
You got to be out
Just
there.
gotta be
This
out
thing
there.
goes 224 inches. I don't know. How
And
many
it looks
points
it.
does he have?
Oh, it's like a
2,
7x6 frame. He's got some extra eye guards I can see, but 7x6 on the frame. It's an awesome buck. I mean, another buck you'd shoot pretty much everywhere.
Jeez.
Carter.
I've got a stack of people I want to call. I like these stories,
Well.
but I know. We're done. I'm done. I'm done.
We'll do another one of these, but we're not going to do it till after. Probably our next podcast will be the winners, right?
Yeah.
Probably
Think
the
so?
winner.
Winners.
Well,
I think so.
today's what, Thursday today?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we're doing this
'cause-
Tuesday. We're not going to want to
yeah,
call cold call people until that drive's over. We've already
Kinda
promised
fun.
that we wouldn't do
That'd be
that.
kind of fun.
Well, we wouldn't do that to guys. Hey, how you doing today?
Hey, let's prank.
Why are you calling me?
Hey, we could prank
No.
a couple.
Oh,
Our friends.
You could do it. I don't want those friends.
Yeah.
They know where I live, and they'll they know.
Oh, I'm just teasing.
Because
I'm with you.
the deadline's Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
Last day to get your name in the
So-
hat is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So I don't want to call anybody for any reason.
No.
So
No.
don't call me. I won't call you. How about that?
Go to my desk with no sticky notes. Right? All right. Well, we appreciate y'all out there. Pretty awesome. It's a good time of year. We're excited about everything. Of course, you guys can tell that. And it's just awesome to hear some stories. We've had some requests for more stories. Probably the biggest request we get, just more stories. So I'm learning a ton. It's kind of fun.
Yep.
Throw it out there.
Yeah.
All right, Bronson, what do you think? Got any
That's
words
it.
of wisdom
Nope.
as we leave?
That
Well,
was good.
remember we
Fun.
were going to give some warm, fuzzy feelings there a long time ago. Podcast 173 or something.
What?
Remember we were going to be like, Just
I don't
little,
remember.
little something about parenting or kids
Were
or
we?
family or be.
We'd have to
Oh
research.
yeah, we were gonna give it. We did. We said, go to church. That
Or
was our
whatever,
good warm
couple
fuzzy
things.
for the day.
Kind of went away from that.
I like it.
I do too.
I don't know about 3 or 4 days a week, Carter, but I like it.
Oh, church-wise? Oh, yeah.
The Lord set one day. That's what it is. Don't beg for more.
Well, sometimes it turns into 3 or 4. You never
Well,
know.
it does, meetings and all that. But as far as
Man, we just want to say thanks to everybody that's helping us here at Epic Outdoors. There's a lot of stories. Without the submissions, what would it be? It's pretty awesome. We appreciate you sending your stories in. If you have photos and stories, send them into photos@epicoutdoors.com. If you want to join, there's a lot of people listening to the podcast. A lot of people. And you may not be a member of Epic Outdoors. You want to join us, we'd love to have you on board. Go to epicoutdoors.com. You can join online. It's $150 a year. And, of course, you get a heavy research publication. And call anytime you want. We can help you with your plans. We'd love to do that and like to be part of the success of the members here at Epic Outdoors.
Yeah, and I think one of the themes about all of these guys who are killing big deer are not just hunting one state. And you think, what can a membership at Epic Outdoors give me? And that's it. We're going to guide you through hunting more than one state. So
that's right.
That you got to be in the hills and you got to do it. This is not, when we talk to one of these guys, it's not. That's the only hunt they have, and that's the only thing they do every year. They're hunting multiple states. They're getting in the field as much as possible.
I like it. Chandler's from Nevada. I want to move to Nevada. I love Nevada, but hey, he wants to be here, so there you have it. Maybe we can do a swap. I don't know. All right, everybody. It's time for lunch, Bronson. Where are we going?
Amen.
Where are we going? Do you know?
No. Well, let's go.
All right, let's go.